It's interesting. Well, I think that we're here,
Yeah.
and thank you for everyone for tuning in and watching in the limelight with Juanita. And today I am in the limelight of the spotlight with Countryside Wetland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So um, the purpose of this show is really to kind of give everyone exposure, but to give everyone the opportunity to really to give them the opportunity to be candid and open and honest also about their life, the things that they're going through, or as well as talking about the um, the different projects and different things that they have coming up. Really wanting, I guess the difference with me with all the other shows is that I'm really wanting everyone to really connect with, to be able to connect with the people that we talk to, because I think connection and communication is a huge factor in the reasons on um, why people follow certain people, certain movies. Sometimes we think that, if we see certain people in a movie, we're like, okay, we automatically know this movie is going to be good. So it's not per se just the movie itself, but it's also the connection and the reality that you have with the person. So because the type of characters that they play, the type of productions they put out are good, and its purpose. So the purpose of my show is really considered, I call it where passion meets purpose. So the passion to be able to help and to want to give people the exposure as well as with meeting their purpose, as well as the purpose of everyone's life. We all have our own special destiny and where we're going. So that's what we're here today to do. So I'm here with Mr. Countrified Wedman, and he has a lot of things that's really on the table. And I just wanted to kind of get a little gist of what's going on with.
Well, thank you for having me first, Anita. I'm so happy to be doing the interview with you. So yeah, I'm actually working on a movie premiere that we'll be at next week, and it's for a movie that I wrote called "A Relationship Experiment."
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I also directed and edited the movie, and wanted to put out something that I think is relevant for our time.
Right.
There's a lot of relationship issues going on, and we feel it. And I think we have to dive deeper into finding out the meaning why.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I decided to do this movie to make people think about relationships. So even if you're in a new relationship or if you're looking to enter into a relationship, I have a lot of things that I think would be of interest to people that I put in this movie, and I wanted to do it for that reason to kind of help the dating process get back to love again and stuff like that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I remember actually being on set with you, which was a pleasure, by the way.
Thank
And being on set with you, without giving, I know you don't want to give the whole thing away, the whole movie away, but I think that is awesome how you were able to, in you were able to talk about the things that no one wanted to say, all the things that people think about, but no one actually really wants to confront them out loud.
you. Right, right.
And I think that is one of the biggest things because, you know, uh, a lot of times we say things, but we try and in a relationship, you don't want to try not to hurt somebody's
Right,
feelings,
right, right, right,
but
right.
at the end of it, I like the way that you actually cleared it up with each scenario, and and made it actually the passion with the purpose.
Right,
You know,
right, right. Yeah, I definitely wanted to get into the realm of the untold, the unspoken, because those are the things that we're really going to deal with. Somebody may not tell you a certain thing, but if they thinking it, you're going to get the effects of it. You know,
Right,
whether
right,
it's somebody cheating on you or leaving you or whatever the case may be. So it's best to have that upfront conversation to be able to handle those conversations.
right, right,
And then people won't lie as much or hold it back.
right.
So that's why the relationship experiment was something that I really wanted to put out. So just to give a little scenario of the movie, it's about six couples that enter into a house and they go through a series of tasks. And through these tasks, they have to be completely honest with each other about everything, their thoughts, their intentions, everything. And they all have these necklaces on, and if they lie, the necklace will shock them. So nobody really wanting to get shot like that. So the information is definitely pure and real.
Right.
And it just this is what a lot of people really think and feel, and I think that you have to really be accepting to that because they're going to do it anyway, whether they tell
Right.
you or not. So I definitely wanted to touch that aspect of it.
Right.
You
I
know?
really, that's something that I really like. That I
Yeah,
thought that was
yeah,
really interesting. Had never thought about just the concept in itself.
yeah, yeah.
Just the concept. So let me ask you something. What have you had like any type of those experiences that may have encouraged you to feel like you had to? I mean, what made you want to go so deep into making a movie like this? I know that your goal was to, bring it out with the different people, but you touched on so many issues. It's like, wow, that's
Right.
we've seen all of those. Have you had friends or someone in your life, or maybe you have gone through things?
Well, basically, I'm an observer pretty much. I'm a guy that like really observe the planet, observe social issues. So I like to do that. I like to observe the temperature of the United States and other places in the world. And I noticed, 20 years ago, there was more relationships that was different than it was now. And before
Mm-hmm.
social media. And so now I see the effects. When I moved from LA to Atlanta, I was able to see it more. The fact that there was so many single women going out in droves together, and then guys together, what I'm saying, just hanging out. But it was not a lot of couples. And I see that it's so many single women nowadays than it was back then. So I'm like, there has to be something that causes this. And
Right.
so I'm starting to see and picture all these different things. And I noticed that social media plays a big role on our psyche, men and women, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And so I can see that being a germ that spread it throughout, and it's done intoxicated both parties, and it's splitting us apart,
Yeah.
And if we're buying into the matrix and the matrix of influence because somebody's on the internet saying one thing and you want what they have or what you may think they have, but a lot of times people may not be honest about what they
Right.
posted, and it just done really really influenced the dating scene, and then you have a lot of these dating apps and stuff like that,
Right.
and so some women wonder why they can't get men, and then some men are wondering why women are the way they are nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really saw an issue with that, and I felt
Mm-hmm.
like people was not understanding the shift
Right.
and what's causing the shift. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I really wanted to do the movie so people can identify it in real time, be able to
Right.
see it in a movie, and then that way, hopefully, people won't allow the matrix to influence them as much,
Right.
and
Right.
just be your own person and love your life and don't have your life energy shattered by comparison to other people.
Right, especially like on social media, and
Yeah,
be who you are.
right,
It's
right.
okay to be accepted. It's okay not to be accepted.
Yeah,
Actually, that's also the thing too.
right.
And it's so crazy. I mean, and I know you say like 20 years. I mean, I don't know 20 years. No, I'm just playing.
Ma-
It's good.
Might have been
No,
a little longer
20.
than 20 years, you know what I'm
But
saying? But I
yeah,
remember
but
going out, you had to go meet people, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you're
Like,
right. You're
you had to
right.
go
In
out and say hey
person.
in person. You didn't have a
Right, right.
profile. They would put switch right or left and pick when they would do that back when I was in high school. You know,
Exactly, exactly,
25,
exactly.
30 years ago. So, yeah,
Exactly. That's actually true.
yeah,
Now there's a lot of virtual and stuff, you
right.
know. But so what made you choose your cast? Like, how did you pick the right? I mean, you picked everyone perfectly, truthfully. Everyone fit the role exactly. How did you do that?
Well, I wanted to break down different aspects that I was seeing that would be an issue or something I think the public would grab onto. So I was, I wanted to have different demographics that I was able to reach. You see,
Right.
so I saw like an older couple. I said, let me
Mm-hmm.
get them. I wanted to get a couple, a white girl with a rich ball player. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
Right.
relevant.
That was
You know what I'm saying? A young couple, two young couples that was just out there,
just wilding.
just
Yep.
wild and don't know. A white couple that's more conservative. Still having their issues. And so I was just kind of going down the list of just different points I wanted to accomplish, and then different types of couples, so that the audience can tap into that. Different people got different problems, but they all problems.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
Right.
and we just have to tap into that to kind of overcome it.
Right. And you know what? You hit it on the nose because it's a cultural thing. It's
Yeah,
not just,
yeah,
one race or the other
right.
that's actually doing it. It's
It's
everybody.
everybody. Yeah,
Everyone actually it falls into this one scenario, and actually is more of a visual thing. But now with the picture, you can edit and things so well
right,
to where,
right, right,
you're not really
right.
sure who you
You're not really sure who you meet, and I tackle that in the movie as well. Just
Right,
the
right,
catfish scenario and people not really being who they are. But I think a lot of it has to do with attention. Attention is a drug that we got hooked on at first, and it's something that most people can't shake,
right,
and it
right.
causes you to do a lot for attention.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
I think that's where people come into a space where healing. And I think and I'm not trying to diagnose or trying to, you know, um, trying to say that I'm this is a huge therapist or anything. I'm not, no, none of that. But it's just I know when you get to a healed place in your life as you get older, you don't your circle gets smaller.
Right.
And of course, I mean, you do try to stay relevant because you have to stay relevant with, social media is good. It has good aspects to
Right.
it, but at the same time, the wrong type of attention, um, and it's it shows it can pull it can bring a part where you can see that you're unhealed,
Right.
and I
Right.
think I remember myself. I even went through that to a point where, you know, that I even had to go through a point of saying, okay, it's not about this, it's about this. And,
Right.
you have to refocus yourself,
Right. Right.
you know.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And we all, I think most of us do go through that, and that's just a part of rising up, raising your vibration, and
Right,
just really focusing on the important stuff and not the things that kind of keep us um, distracted.
right,
So if we all got a mission, and you're just on your mission, and not so much how many likes you get, how many likes you got
right,
now compared to how many you had 2, 3 years ago. Because you're giving your power to the people then,
right,
and just know I'm a person about accomplishments. So I really want to focus on accomplishing a mission as opposed to how many cheerleaders I have or how many haters I may have.
right,
Because we all gotta leave here. We all gonna die. Our bodies
right,
gonna die. So it's about what you've done, what you're doing, and what you've done while you're here. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
exactly,
And that's one of the most important things I try to keep in mind.
right. So how did you find your mission? How did you find your purpose? And when did you find your
I
purpose?
found my purpose, believe it or not, on 9/11.
Really?
Yeah, I found my purpose then. I knew it was something because I was always feeling that I needed to be a spokesperson for a lot of people and be able to reach a lot of people and have that influence. I felt that way at a young age, but didn't know what the purpose was.
Mhm.
And after 9/11, I was sitting there watching this, and then one of the president's aide went to tell him, whisper in his ear that, the first building we're under attack. And
Mhm.
the president didn't move. He just sat there.
Mhm.
And then he was still sitting there. And so I just had a crazy, it was just a spirit that came over me. Like, man, something ain't right. You the president, and you getting
Right.
told that we under attack, and you ain't
You
moving.
ain't moving.
You supposed to throw the deuces and be out of there immediately. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then especially when you give me the excuse that you didn't want to scare the kids, when you got millions of people
Millions.
afraid right now, and you didn't want to
Exactly.
scare 20 kids, and that's your reason for not giving up. So I figured that something wasn't right.
Right.
And I was like, he had to be a part of this, so you know about it, something by your body language and the way you reacted. So that made me go down a rabbit hole of investigating stuff, and then I found out a lot about secret societies and stuff like that,
Right. Right.
and even beyond that. And so then that's when I realized I had a mission to let people know the world that we really live in versus what
Mhm.
we think we live
Right.
in. Yeah.
Right. It's almost like this world that I talk to my kids about it all the time. It's like I feel like this world that we're in really is really a facade.
It is.
It's a facade. And after high school, so I mean, your parents help you make your life, and the government makes your life because you have to go to school, you have to do this, you have to do that. But after that time period, after high school, what do you do?
Right.
You have to, if you don't get caught up in a lot of the worldly things, you're just out here living,
Right.
you know. So you really do have to realize that it's not just social media, it's not just Facebook and Instagram, and there's real life and real scenarios, and you really do have a real purpose in life.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
um, yeah, I feel the same way about this, and it's crazy how you know it becomes a revolving circle.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I see you on your purpose, so that's good. She's on
Trying to
her
be,
purpose,
yes,
everyone.
yes.
And we just doing a great job. And I really thank you for coming and really assisting and helping make the movie. She just came and just helped. She's an angel, so she's someone that I really appreciate. She brought her son with her, and they were just a great asset to us putting the movie together and helping me. I can't do it by myself, and just having her and other people show up to help make it happen. I definitely want to say thank you. So, just personally, right here, right now, let you know that this is the angel she came to help.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know. Well, talking about helping, I know that there's other stuff that you're doing as well,
Yeah.
right? You have your album, and you also have a program that you help with kids.
Yeah, I work with kids a lot. But the album, I've been doing music for like 40 years.
Really?
Yeah, I've been doing music a long time, and that's just what I love. And I'm doing another album now called 35 and Up. That's what I'm typing it right now. But
Okay.
but before anybody be like, I'm a rap artist, but before anybody just really think, oh, he's going to be rapping and all
Oh
that.
my.
I get it, man. I might be, but I tell you what, I'm going
Hey,
to be
but
listening to some of the stuff that we have today. And so I really wanted to, do the music just really for me to listen to in the car, listen to stuff that I can relate to.
right.
And
I mean, look
I
at
know,
Snoop and all
yeah,
of them.
yeah.
I mean, hey,
You,
you're not.
you got, listen, you got artists that's out there that's been doing it longer and older than myself. And hip hop is 50 years old now, so I
Hmm.
think there's so many people that want to listen to hip hop music or rap music that's older but can't relate to some of the younger generation of music.
Right.
So that's
Right.
why I really wanted to go back in the studio and put together an album that 35 and up can relate to. You see what I'm saying? So I just don't want to be an older guy just rapping the same thing that younger people are doing. I want to be someone that's really putting out music that people of that age group can identify
Yeah,
with.
right,
You see what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And then kind of go from there with it. I think that's a whole open market that's on tap.
right, right.
Is that so yeah.
So you think so your album, so you said so it's for you said it's called for tongue tie. So you said it's called 35 and up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Right
So
now,
that
that's
means
just the
it
working title. It might
okay,
change, but right now, as I'm working on it, I
okay.
decided that.
So is it so it's actually for people that are 35 and up.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
rough is that type of rap. I'm
yeah, yeah,
excited.
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
like to
yeah,
hear that.
yeah.
That's
So yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So and most of my music is like mature adults anyway, but I
Mm-hmm.
just definitely wanted to do things and have songs that geared towards older generation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Generations,
stuff
right.
that we
Okay.
go through. We can kind of relate to and stuff, even like back pain, knee pains, whatever.
Right, exactly. Knees cracking, back.
Knees cracking like that, just stuff like that that we can, and make it good and make it relatable and fun and stuff like that.
Right, right.
So that's kind of the mission that I'm trying to
Okay.
go with that.
So what kind of video? Actually, have you already thought about the music
Yeah,
video and thing
well,
that you're gonna? Are you gonna
yeah,
do
you know,
that?
my first video, I have a song called "Chilling with My Grandkids,"
Okay.
and so it's gonna be a song about just really just spending time with your grandkids.
Valentine's
You
Day.
done went out
Okay.
there and did everything in the world. You good, it's just the same old stuff anyway. So I'm just chilling with my grandkids.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and so many people of that age have grandkids and can relate to just, I'm just gonna chill with my baby now. Have them come over to
Right.
the house and enjoy them. I ain't in the streets, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a pastime and that's just what I'm doing now.
Right. 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 It's not
And I
right.
don't have any grandkids. I only have kids. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I wanted to write something that would relate to that demographic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
I
So
think
that'd
that's
be the first video.
awesome.
Yeah, seeing with my
That's gonna
grandkids.
be awesome. Well, you never know. You may be speaking that into
I might
existence
be. I
now.
might have a
You
baby somewhere. I might
right.
might get one somewhere. I'm
Mhm.
open to
Right.
it.
Right. I got it.
Yeah. So
So, and what about your program? Is that how you wanted? How you? What made you want to do the program to help kids?
yeah. Back in LA, I had an acting school out there when I was out there for kids. But I love kids. I've worked with kids so many different ways and stuff. And so I just I just really love kids, and they love me. We just kind of got a cool little bond together. So I had a nice school going. I started coaching in Beverly Hills for John Robert Powers, and then I started my own school in Hollywood. But then I moved to Atlanta, and I got here, and I started teaching almost immediately when I got here. And it was this one instance where I was teaching these kids, and we was doing a little scene, and I was videoing it with my camera.
Okay.
And then I had the kids look at it, just play back and let them look at the screen and stuff. And they were so excited just to see themselves doing those little scenes. And they were just so passionate about it. And I just realized that these kids have the passion, but no one sees them. They'll
Right.
never get that chance to really feel what it's like to be a star or to do acting and see themselves and stuff. And I kind of felt really bad about that because the opportunity just wasn't there.
Right.
And then the guy said, "Well, why don't you do it? Why don't you create a movie experience for them? Why wait on Hollywood to do it and when you can do it?"
Right.
And so that's when I created the movie star experience.
Okay.
So yeah, so I had the kids do a short film, and then so we met for 3 weeks, and then the fourth week we'll shoot a film, and then we'll come back and do a red carpet movie premiere. The kids go in demos, they get out, we cheer for them. They come in, we give out Best Actor and Actress awards, give out certificates, um, and then they sign autographs at the end of the movie premiere. So
Oh my
it
gosh,
was
that's
just,
so
it
amazing.
was just an awesome program for kids, and then so many kids, built their confidence up. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? They had the
exactly.
opportunity, and they was excited, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to create that for the
Right.
kids. You know?
And that's something that they'll always be, because,
Yeah.
they'll always be able to look back on
Yeah, I
that.
always look back
They'll
and remember
always
that.
have that memory, but they'll see themselves as,
Yeah,
that the creation that they made,
yeah.
and that could actually help inspire them to actually become. You never know.
Oh, it's a lot of
Kids
kids. Yeah,
are
yeah.
kids are super talented,
Yes, they are.
untapped talent.
Right,
You
and they're the
know,
next generation up, and so I've seen and got messages from parents of kids going off to do major things, like they in movies now or modeling and stuff like that. So
right,
they growing up and doing more stuff than the program. And I'm just glad to kind of get in that start or that boost of
right,
confidence.
right. Well, that would be something. Are you starting that again?
Well,
Are you
I'm
doing
thinking
that?
about starting it again in 2026.
Okay,
Yeah, because I
okay.
just had so much other things that I needed to kind of get down. But it's
Hmm.
such a great program for kids, and
It
it's such a
really
delightful
is.
joy to see their faces and see them do their thing. And so I really want to tap back into it.
Yeah, I think that would be an awesome thing because I do think kids are super genuine.
Yes,
They
yes.
they don't come with they don't come with the racial stuff, and
No,
they're just 100% pure at
just
heart,
pure heart.
and they don't get all this stuff until it's tainted with an adult.
Right,
You know,
right,
so the talent and thing that they have, some may never ever have that opportunity again.
right, right.
So I think that's an awesome opportunity for them.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
would
And that's
love to.
right. And that's another thing is parents would sign their kid up for acting classes, but that's all they would be able to do is classes.
Right,
And
right.
it's almost like signing your kid up for football and all they do is practice.
It's practice,
Right, they never get a chance
exactly,
to play a game.
exactly.
So I wanted to bring the game to the kids where they can actually see what it feels like to prepare for a movie. And we had hair and makeup on it. I mean, we
Did
ran
you
like a yeah,
really?
we
It
ran
was
like a
like the
real.
real
We
deal.
did. We wanted to replicate what a real set was. And we gave them
Hmm.
IMDb credit. They had
Oh
footage for their
wow.
demo reels, and those things helped catapult them to be above some of the other kids that didn't have those experiences. So I'm saying
Right,
because
right,
the movie sets look for experience, especially with kids, because I know
right,
kids are unpredictable. But if they've been on set before, they'll take more of a chance with them.
right,
And so
right.
that's why the movie program had its advantages like that.
Right. And it's crazy you say that because me and my kids, we were just sitting talking and wondering because we were watching this great movie. It was one of the movie that's just the regular movies that's in theaters. And we're like, how is it that these kids can act so well? I
Yeah,
mean, they remember the lines, the
remember that.
roles,
Right,
the
right,
movements,
right.
they have the whole scenario down like it's real.
It's real.
You
Yes,
know,
yes.
so it's amazing how they can just really just easily tap. It's like taking a kid and that after they're born, throwing the baby in the water
In
and
the
they
water, and they start swimming.
and they
Right,
start swimming.
right,
you
right.
know.
Right, it's some really great kids out there that can really do it. First timers. I've seen some first timers come in and win Best Actress. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's like you said, it's in their DNA, and especially when you give them that confidence early on, where they don't have to feel insecure or anything. They can just really be kids and
Like
tap
they
into the
said,
role.
right,
Yeah,
right,
and I think that plays a major role on the kids' performance.
right. So, what about you as a person, as a filmmaker? Has it been? I know, and you don't have to get super personal or anything if you don't want to. I'm not trying to say that, but like because I know a lot of people they only see the end part. They only see the part that the end part, like the end of the movie or the red carpets or the after the final project
Right,
or
right, right.
what type of was it any challenges or anything that you um had to or that you went through or had to overcome to actually even to get where you are to be able to make things really happen.
Well, I've been in the industry like 25 years, um, and I've studied so many different parts of movie making for years.
Hmm.
And even like I said with the kids program, I've done 30 films with kids over the time that I was doing that. So as
Okay.
a director and stuff, I know what needs to be done. The biggest challenge was really doing all the jobs pretty much by myself, apparently, because
Okay.
I didn't have a team to like really help put all this other together. So writing it, it took a while, and then compartmentalizing everything as you go too. So
Mhm.
I had to just concentrate on the writing first, and then after it was written, focus on how I'm going to get the characters, uh, put the characters, the audition for the characters, just knowing all the things that I needed to do. And so I welcome the challenge, just to see if I can pull it off. But it just really using my experience and my knowledge of filmmaking and just organizing everything so that it can be easier for the people that will help assist me.
Right.
And so that's what it was. It's just trying to make sure that I can pull it off. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But it took a month and a half of prepping before I even got into all that, just so I can make sure that I have a checklist of all the things that need to be done.
Mhm.
So, and I just would tell anybody that want to do filmmaking and stuff like that, don't just jump into shooting and be so in a hurry to shoot, because you're going to find yourself in problems that you haven't worked out before you started.
Right.
And
Right.
so, and that's why I think when we did film, the days went smooth. You know what I'm saying? We was
Mhm.
able to go in there and get it done and get in and out.
Right.
But I had the shot list prepared. I
You
had what we were
did.
going to shoot next.
Mhm.
And that way the script supervisor was easy for them. I tried to make the job easy on everybody that was going to help assist.
Right. Right.
But that took a lot of prep work,
Right.
and that's something that like I said earlier, that you want to tap into first before you get out there and start shooting.
Right.
You
I
know?
noticed that. You're right. You had your clipboards,
Yeah,
and everybody had a role. Everybody
yeah,
knew where they were supposed to
right,
be, who needed to go next, but
right,
everything was set exactly how it needed to be.
yeah,
And it actually went really smooth.
really smooth.
It really did. So, and we were very impressed about that. So, and that's great. We've been on different sets before. Things are different, and I mean, everyone shoots different and operates differently. But I'm more of a visual paper person, as you
Right,
see,
right, right, right,
and
right.
it's easier for me to be able to actually physically. I guess I'm old school to
And
check it off, to check
that,
it
that
off, to
I'm
check it
I'm
off.
old school with you, dude.
You
That's
know,
that's the best way for me too. So,
I mean, but it's definitely a pleasure to be able to have this time to sit here and talk to you.
man, the pleasure's
You
mine.
know,
You know what I'm saying? The pleasure's mine. I really appreciate doing this. Like I said, you got my word that I was gonna come here, and I'm just glad to be here with you on
yeah.
this. So,
Well, thank you.
yeah.
Well, this isn't it though. It's not
No,
over.
no, no. I'm
It's
just
not
I'm just
over
saying. No, I hope
because
not.
no. But I'll also be seeing you again next week, right?
For the
June
red carpet
7th for the
premiere.
red carpet.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we're gonna celebrate this thing and have the actors and actresses come out, and other actors and actresses and movie makers and stuff all come out, so we can have a good time and stuff like
Right,
that.
right. So that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be
Yeah,
great to
I
see
can't
there.
wait.
To see
Excited
that.
for that.
So anyone who did you want to say what exactly where the location is
Well,
going
yeah,
to
we're
be?
gonna be at
The
the
time.
atrium. The atrium. That's 5479 Memorial Drive, and that's in Stone Mountain, Georgia, 30083. We're gonna be there from 7 to 12. The doors open at 6. The movie starts at 7:30. And so after the movie, we're gonna do like a networking mix here. We're gonna also have it like a discussion about relationships. We have people that have been in long lasting relationships, and you can ask them questions and get great information on how to make the relationship work. And most of these people got together before social media now, so they might can't give you too much information in the social media area.
Right. Okay, so you're gonna have like a panel there
Yeah,
where you
yeah. I
so
have some
real
people. Yeah, I have
scenarios.
like real scenarios of people that that you can talk to and stuff.
Okay,
So that'll be something.
that's actually amazing. I've
Yeah,
never. That's new. I don't think I've ever seen that at
yeah,
a red carpet
yeah. Well,
event.
it's
So
mostly
that's
because of
great. A type of
the type of
movie.
movie it is, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's great though
Oh,
because
thank
it
you.
takes it the next step further.
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
So it'll actually it goes through these scenarios and then it's a healing.
Right.
It's a healing
Okay.
part, and that's what we're trying to get to.
Right. That
You
part.
know, so that part is amazing. So well. I think if you also, if you wanted to, you have another, some other stuff that's coming up that you're wanting to cast for, or
Well, I do have a TV series that I wrote, so I will
mm-hmm.
be trying to get that into production. It's called The Manipulated Rapper. And
Okay,
I have a website for it that I have all the episodes that I wrote. It's on there where you can read it, but I want to actually put it in production. So, but I just did this movie first, and then I'm gonna go into trying to get that put together because the series is a little more challenging than a movie,
right,
you know. And so, and this is called The Manipulated Rapper because once again, that I think that music and the rappers have been manipulated to um, to continue to influence us about things
mm-hmm.
that's not productive, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
And I think that we have to also wake up to that as well and realize that the music plays a role in our psyche just as well as the internet.
right. Even if you don't think it does, for
Right,
some
even if you
reason
don't
it
think,
does,
yeah,
like
but
subconsciously.
subconsciously, because you know words are power and energy, and you keep hearing that type of energy and stuff that's going into your head every day, and you listen to
Right,
the same song and music, so it's subconsciously um, dormant in you, you know.
right, exactly, exactly. So I guess people can go to your website.
Yeah, yeah. You can learn everything about me at countryfied.org. COUNTRIFIED.org. So
Okay.
go there, and you know you can send me a message there if necessary. But yeah,
And also, do you have your social media?
yeah, I'm on Facebook as Countryfied Cornelius Weston. I'm on the IG Countryfied underscore Weston. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You
Okay.
know, yeah.
Okay. And also to get some highlights on the show that we did today, you'll be able to go to my Instagram as well. Let's say EXQ Full Figure Georgia 2018. You could also go to Instagram, Armani Red INT TV. You will be able to hear we're right now streaming on 5 different locations. So you'll be able to go to Daily Motion, as Amani Red, INT Movies, um, where else? iHeart, Pandora, Roku. You'll be able to download the free app and be able to go into the channel store, Roku channel store, and download Armani Red INT, and it will be there under In the Limelight, as well as you can find me on Facebook, as this program is streaming on Miss EXQ Full Figure Georgia 2018, or Monita Smothers is my Facebook. So thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next episode. We have another great person coming up, which will be in a couple weeks. But right now, check me out on the red carpet, June 7th,
Yeah.
at the Relationship Experiment. So thanks so much. You guys have a great weekend. Bye.
Another one in the book.